What's going on, guys? Chris Robinson here. In today's video, as you can see, I just want to go over a product offered by Experian, which is known as a Experian Smart Money Debit Card. I know I've mentioned Experian in previous videos, most specifically related to my credit videos. And also, you may have heard me talked about Experian Boost before. But let's talk about this debit card that they have to offer, which also have some potential for helping build your credit, right? Um, but without further ado, let's talk about what this card has to offer. But before we talk about those benefits, let's talk about what exactly is the Experian Smart Money Debit Card, right? And in a nutshell, is pretty much a game-changing financial tool designed to help you build your credit without accumulating debt. And if any of you know me, I'm a big fan of trying to build our credit without taking on any debt, right? Also, right, this card is issued by Community Federal Savings Bank, which is also a member of FDIC, and they also is backed by a global power known as Mastercard, right? Just like we can see the logo here on this example card. Um, they is backed by Mastercard, right? But let's talk about um other things, right? But so here's a little twist about this car, right? Um we probably heard about Experian. Pretty much all of us, any living adult who lives in America should know about Experian, right? And if you don't, then it's important that you get to know this company, because your financial future pretty much depends on it, or anything related to your finances or gaining access to credit, and your credit worthiness depends on it, right? Now, it's not the only credit bureau out there, but it is a very essential part of the credit game, right? Um, However, um, let's talk about these benefits, right? So, just to learn a little bit about this card is jam packed with perks that you probably will pretty much have you rethinking your current bank at this current moment, right? Now, many of us are with our current banks for many reasons, right? But in this case, with an Experian debit card, it would be a great tool to have within your arsenals of debit cards. Mainly because the benefits, the one of the main benefits, in my opinion, that we'll dive into before this video ends. But let's continue, right? Um, just for starters, when you sign up with this account, they do offer a $50 direct deposit bonus, right? In which they will give you that $50 added to your paycheck once you sign up with direct deposit through your employer, or whichever case you use to get your money, right? Through the direct deposit process, right? Also, your payday could come 2 days early. A lot of people like to get paid a little early, and with this card, and we know there's several other cards out there that pay you early. But this is also an added benefit. This card does allow you to get paid up to 2 days early. Um, which is a nifty tool to gain access to your money before you in the early hands when you really need it. Many people may be wondering about those monthly fees, right? So as we can see here, there's no monthly fees. So that's always a plus. Not having to, we want to go through the process of gaining money or keeping our money, not losing our money or paying for unnecessary things. And in many cases, fees are one of those things that is unnecessary, right? And it doesn't benefit us. So the I guess the benefit here is that you're not required to pay any monthly fees, right? And that's rather if you hold a zero balance right? Anything like that, like many companies will require you to have a minimum deposit each month and a minimum balance each month and things like that. But in this case, this card does not require that. So you can pretty much open this card today for free and hold on to it without adding any money, and you still will not have to pay any fees, right? Which is can be great. It could greatly come in handy whenever you need it. When it comes to this card as well, if you're worried about your safety, just like I mentioned, it is FDIC insured, which is up to $250,000, which is a great benefit. We've seen history have proven to us that those banks who is not federally insured pretty much leave you out in the slums, right? There's no evidence of you even having any money if this bank was to crash, right? But because it is FDIC insured, you don't have to worry about anything, at least up to 250,000 or a quarter a million of dollars. Now, obviously, this isn't for those of us who want to hold millions of dollars in our bank account, right? But this is most definitely for the average consumer to have, right? Very, very good card to have for the average consumer, especially for the credit benefit, and which we'll talk about shortly, right? Also, how could you pretty much get started with this card? So, in order to get started with this card, we'll talk about this very quickly, but let's talk about how we can get started. Scroll down to where we can get started, right? So first, you'll pretty much sign up. It's a very, very simple and easy step. So if you don't already have the Experian app or an Experian account, just know that it's free. They do offer paid memberships or subscriptions each month for other things, but it is free to sign up to get your Experian account and to see your FICO score with Experian. But if you want to know like the other two major credit bureaus, your FICO score for those, they do require that you pay a monthly subscription. And there's also other benefits related to their monthly subscription. But this video isn't designed for that. So let's stay on the topic of this card, right? This debit card. So signing up is easy, simple, and free, right? If you don't have your account or if you don't have the app, you can scan this QR code that you see here. But as simple as going to your app store, downloading the Experian app, and using that login information, which I highly recommend, especially if you have it on your phone. You have easy access to your credit reports as well as easy access to your money if this is your day-to-day card. Um, you can add money in many different ways. But they always, every bank that you sign up with, they always like to encourage that you sign up with direct deposit. That's how they pretty much keep you as a customer, which is okay. But we know the benefits of signing up with direct deposit here. You get your you get your money up to 2 days early, and also they give you that $50 bonus when you sign up with their direct deposit. And it's easy. Um, they'll give you that direct deposit form, things like that. You can get it to your employer or update it in your self-service login account with your employer, whatever the case may be. But you will have a account and routing number available to you to set up that direct deposit. And also is you'll get that digital card very quickly, right? So as soon as you sign up, they'll automatically give you that digital card. But the downside, if you need a physical card, you won't get a physical card right away until you can prove that you need that physical card. And in order to prove that you need that physical card, as simple as adding money to the account, right? So once you add money to the account, they'll give you the opportunity to request that physical card. In many cases, most of us, if we have money on it, of course, we're going to want at least a physical card on hand, especially if we put in all of our finances in this debit card. You can request for that physical card. Now, adding money is very simple, right? You can link your existing bank account and get instant transfers into this account, and they use a system called Plaid, in which you can link your bank account. Many companies use Plaid, so it's simple. Many of us is familiar with that. And also, if you have cash, you can add cash to your account by simply going to companies or other companies like Walmart, 7-Eleven, and I believe CVS or Walgreens also offer the opportunity to add money to these accounts as well, which is quite simple. Now that'd probably be the only fees you will probably be required to pay is adding that money or withdrawing that money using those companies like Walmart, 7-Eleven, CVS, things like that. All right, so just to answer some of the basic questions, right? Um, some of the basic questions people may ask, one of them I've already answered. How do I add cash, right? Simply, you just go over to a CVS, 7-Eleven, um, also a Walmart, which is very simple, right? You go to Walmart, you might might be stuck with a line. There's no telling, but if you go to CVS or 7-Eleven, you can simply go up to the cash register, show them the card, say I want to add cash to this card, and it's as simple as giving them the money and depositing that money very quickly, right? Also, we know that there's no fees, right? However, some fees could be associated with adding money or withdrawing money from these companies. Also, if you want to use an ATM, which you have the opportunity to do so, but we all know, just like every other bank, some banks want to be compensated for you taking money from their bank. So you may be required to pay a out of network ATM fee, right? Now, many as far as who is an out of network ATM bank, um, we do know who is responsible for issuing these cards for Experian. And also you will get your cardholder agreement, and then you have to check the details of that cardholder agreement to see which ATMs are free and which ATMs charge a fee, right? All right, so now let's talk about one of the most essential and important things, in my opinion, for this card, and that is building your credit, right? Or boosting your credit, right? Um, Now we talked about Experian Boost before, um, and that's pretty much the method here in which they use, right? Um, Now, just to keep in mind, this isn't your average debit card, because it is equipped with this Experian Boost, right? And just keep in mind too, um, not all lenders use Experian, user credit Experian profiles. So, but just most of us is not worried about that because many major lenders do use Experian. But I also like to put that out there that it is specific to Experian. So if you're expecting a boost from this method, right? It would only boost your Experian account, right? Now the other major credit bureaus offer their services for those instant boosters as well. But we'll save that topic for another video. So when you do see a boost to your credit report, just know that it's going to be specific to Experian, right? And what ways in which they do it? Well, whenever you use this card, instead of linking a card like you would have done in the past with Experian Boost, this card is already connected to it, in which it will scan and identify all of the bills you have paid, anything from rent, your utilities, your subscriptions, all those good things, and it will add those up and link them into your credit reports. And that's pretty much how you start building that credit, right? Just keep in mind, the longer you keep this card or keep using this card, the more that you'll see an increase to your credit report, your at least your Experian credit report, right? Um, but just keep in mind though that not all payments are eligible. And you just got to keep that moving forward. I like to let you guys know up front and center that there is always some pros and cons in every situation. And I always like to highlight those pros and cons. So just keep in mind that when you do pay some bills or whatever the case may be, if it's not showing up in this area, then Experian did not identify it as being an eligible account in that case. But that pretty much covers most of everything about this card. Um, I hope this pretty much helped. If you don't already have this card, I know it's been out a couple years now. If you don't already have this card, It will be a great asset to have, especially when it comes to instantly boosting your credit using their Experian. I know you can always link your other cards and things like that, but there is other benefits related to using this card. And I'm a strong believer is not putting all your eggs in one basket. So maybe if you have one debit card, you can always use this as your second debit card, and throw money in there once in a while, or just use this card to pay your bills and to, if you like to be on top of your finances and separating the accounts for spending, this can be your bill spending card, things like that. So you can simply transfer all those if you manage your finances right, you can transfer all that money that you would typically use to pay all of your bills to this card, and use this card as your bill payment method, and use your other cards and things like that for other essential needs as well. But just as a conclusion, right? The Experian Smart Credit Debit Card is a fantastic option for looking to boost your credit. And if you know me, having good credit is very essential, especially as an American, and living in this country. It's quite hard to live a normal life without having credit, because not just the fact of you wanting to seek credit cards or get a home or auto loan, things like that, but it's also to the extent that you need at least good credit as well, just to get an apartment, just to get a cell phone service, things like that. Small things, the everyday things that we need. Your credit, it always depends on your credit, in these cases, right? So it's important to stay on top of that. And this is one way you can stay on top of that. But just know that if you sign up, you don't have to worry about any monthly fees. You also get that $50 bonus. You also get an instant card, so you don't have to wait on the debit card and things like that. You can instantly transfer your fees if you start up today or sign up today. But I hope this information was helpful for you guys. That's my cue to conclude this video. Tongue twister there. That's my cue to conclude this video. I hope this video was helpful. I also provide a link in the description. If you don't already have an account, you can use that link to sign up. And I see you guys in the next video. Peace.